If you've ever wanted to play a Battlefield-style game on constant hardcore, no crosshairs, no minimap, and IDing friendlies and enemies by the weapons that they fire and the uniforms that they adorn, then Squad is definitely the game for you. Squad is a tactical FPS that provides authentic combat experiences through teamwork, constant communication, and realistic gameplay. It bridges the gap between arcade shooter and military simulation with 100-player battles featuring combined arms combat, base building, and an integrated VIOP system.
Right then, soldiers, the best way to lead is to ask for opinions. Where do you think we should get a hab set up?
It's a personal favourite of mine, and it's quickly becoming one of my most played games on Steam. 101 on the hill, far. Holy shit! So why do I like this game? I'm normally a survival guy, this doesn't really fit my MO, but this is purely an FPS game with hardcore mechanics. I like this game because it's a successor of a game that I used to religiously play called Project Reality. PR was a standalone mod based off of Battlefield 2 which implemented a strict need for teamwork, communication and reliance on key roles such as the medic, squad leader, support classes that could suppress infantry or disable armour. Squad does the same thing but better in my opinion. There's a lot to like about Squad, so let me list a few things that I personally enjoy about this game. The learning curve isn't too steep. Faction variety is perfect. I just wish they would add, or officially add, the Croatian army or the Japanese army. The in-game audio is fantastic. The range of vehicles is good. The diversity of maps allows for multiple strategies.
BTR's dead.
He's dead. He blew up. Nice. No, he's the one in the blue container.
Weapon sounds makes it easy to identify who's who. Armour has critical weak points. If you're a fan of armour combat, you'll be studying these blueprints very carefully. You'll notice that when you play Squad, that the roles that you have available to you all have the pros and cons, and everyone who plays Squad eventually finds their favourites. Now let me get this out of the way before I list my favourites. If you play as a marksman or a sniper and you walk away from your squad and provide no actual support, you're a loser, and I hope every shot you take is a blatant miss. Now that I've got that off my chest, my favourite classes to run on just about every single map are the Grenadier, the Lat/Hat, and the Medic. The Grenadier, a fantastic class designed to make enemy troops shit their pants, because you're firing 40mm grenades at them, but also providing a smokescreen for your squad to flank and counter. Lat/Hat, what I would consider my main class that I play on just about every single map. These troops carry the weapons designed to penetrate armour and cripple logistics. One thing to note, Lats are designed to disable armour, Hats are designed to kill armour. If you play as a Lat, try and team up with the Hat and you'll both be unstoppable. The Medic, before I point out the obvious here, the Medic is a combat medic. You're a rifleman with more smokes than the standard rifleman, so be that first. After the area, the building or the room is clear, then you can be your medic. Medics pick up people and save tickets in a long hard-fought game, and good medics will act as riflemen before being actual medics. You know who you are, you're the real MVPs. Squad also has a diverse range of factions that you can play as, even more so if you play on modded servers. However, the main 10 factions of the game are the British Army, the Australian Army, the Canadian Army, the United States Army, the United States Marine Corps, the Middle East Alliance, the Russian Ground Forces, the People's Liberation Army, the Irregular Militia, and the Insurgents. My favourites being the Australian Army, Russian Ground Forces, and the Insurgents. The reason being, the Aussies have the Steyr AUG. The Russians have the best firing AKs with the best iron sights in the game, and the Insurgents have IEDs. Each faction also has a range of vehicles. There are MBTs, IFVs, APCs, light vehicles that feature a range of armaments, helicopters, logistic trucks and boats that either hold logistic capabilities or forward-mounted 50 caliber machine guns. My favourite? The CTAS from the Brits, the BTR-82A from the Russians, the BMP-1 from the Middle East Alliance or the insurgent/irregular militia, the ASLAV from the Australians and the Leopard tank from the Canadians. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, but the way that I play them could be considered very annoying, but that's how I win. The replay value on Squad is very high. For a game that costs around £40, you can spend hours playing this game. I keep bringing them up, but the combat roles all take time to learn and understand. They aren't difficult, but to be proficient with them, you'll want to play them all for a decent length of time over various game modes, maps and factions. The game consistently updates and each patch is usually met with some balancing, so it means that the devs are actively responding to feedback given by players and play testers. The latest update, which has brought a lot of anger, is the Emote DLC, but with the Emote DLC came a massive update for the engine itself, taking it to Unreal Engine 4.27. As well as getting proficient with the roles, there's also a variety of seeds per map, which means each map is the same, but the way that the objectives are orientated can be incredibly random. If you play enough of a particular seed, you'll know where to go to hit the next objective, and eventually you'll understand where the enemy objectives will be. This means you can study each map and each seed carefully and pre-plan before the match even starts. Here's a quick list of pros to Squad. The game feels easy to get into. The roles are not difficult to understand. The vehicles too aren't difficult to understand. Scopes and optics become very easy to use over a short period of time. There are a diverse range of servers that cater to both new and experienced players. The game has various modded servers featuring themes such as Star Wars, Starship Troopers and others, adding additional real-world factions. With a group of friends, this game is super fun. With a group of randoms, it's just as fun. Here's a quick list of cons to Squad. Many players lack a mic to communicate. Various squad leaders will end up getting angry over nothing. Many players create squads and leave them. This creates issues with who will lead that squad and it wastes valuable time. Sometimes there will be more locked squads than unlocked.
11, we're engaging it.
You'll sometimes notice players wasting vehicles. This is known as asset wasting. Due to the proximity chat, you'll sometimes get blasted with soundboards, and I'm not talking about the good kind. Clans or squads with clan tags will sometimes look down on other players or squads. Not mentioning any squads or names here, but it does happen. Overall, Squad is a brilliant game, and you should definitely give it a go if you're into that hardcore style of FPS game. I have a few recommendations though for new players, so if you're still here, have a little listen to these. If you want a server that caters to new players, just type into the search bar, new player friendly, and you'll be given a nice collection of servers in which you can play on. I strongly recommend having a mic, because when it comes to this game, no one's going to check the text chat and most people have it turned off. It doesn't need to be the best mic, you just have to have something. It's repeated over and over again, but playing as Rifleman or Medic is strongly advised if you start this game. I would also recommend playing as the Automatic Rifleman, as your job is purely just to kill enemy infantry. It's easy and it's fun. If you want to give vehicles a try, I recommend trying them in the training field. You can choose which faction you want to play as and then see their entire arsenal of vehicles. On the subject of the training field, if you aren't coping with the optics or the scopes, the training field is also good for this too. You can learn how to zero your optic or scope and understand the distance markers. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode on Squad. Next time, we'll be diving into the world of Stalker Anomaly, a game that I only got into a year ago but has now become one of my top played games. Thank you ever so much for watching today's episode of the Replayables. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, and if you want to see more of these, hit subscribe and ding the little bell. You'll stay informed of when the next episode gets published. Massive shout out to my members and patrons. Again, you guys make this ever so possible. And thank you ever so much for watching today's video. It means a lot to me. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you all another time.
Yeah, I found it. Found the enemy radio. Indeed. Copy that. And just trying to put it. Yeah, cool. What was there? Sorry.